Yo, y'all niggas already know, man, it's DNA 1/6 of that NWX, and you now watching Rap Grid. Make sure you subscribe, and if not, get them the fuck out of here.
Smack called me and I was getting some soda. I was getting some beer actually. I was at the bodega. It was when I was living in Clinton Hill on Fulton Street in Clinton. I was in the bodega and I got the call from Beasley, I think.
White bread, you done come for dead. You want a buckle? They go with a buckle on your lumphead. All that shit.
I'm just some corny white boy from the Upper West Side. Like, to get that call was like, damn, like we're here. You know what I mean?
I remember I went to an all hip hop event at SOB's the next day, and I got on the mic and I was like, yeah, go watch that smack battle. I just killed Ice Solomon. I was talking mad shit. You know what I mean? It was cool. Word got around real fast.
I was always a fan of everything. Like I would listen to Jay-Z and I would listen to Company Flow, like same mixtape, you know what I mean? Put them on the same tape. And so to do Scribble Jam and then to also do Smack and Fight Club was like my vision for what music was and what hip hop was. I understand that there's a divide between those styles, but to me it was like, this shit is dope. Like I don't hate on the street shit because I do backpack shit, and the backpack shit is dope, even though it's kind of geeky and corny to some people. Like shit is dope, you know what I mean?
It was like a bridge in the two worlds. You know what I'm saying? The Scribble Jam dudes and like the Fight Club alumni type shit. You know what I'm saying? The street rappers. It was a very big battle at the time.
I was just like, math. I mean, there's so much to go with that. And then once I think once I thought of like math is history, it was like, all right, like that's the line, right? You know what I mean? And so once you add the other subjects, it becomes a scheme. But like, that's probably where it started from, was like math is history. Like, all right, where can I go with this? You know what I mean?
And you put one round on the DVD and everybody thought this Iron Solomon bodied me because he had a great first round. And I was like, damn, Smack, why you didn't put the other 2 rounds on there? He was like, yo, I need to get him to watch, go to the site and pay for it, whatever. Eventually shit came out on YouTube.
I've never been a social media dude. Like I wasn't up on YouTube to the point, like people were telling me like, yo, you got mad YouTube views, and I wasn't like, word? Like I wasn't like, yeah, I know, like I'm promoting that shit. It was like, what's YouTube? You know what I mean? And like I think that so I didn't really know, but I think that's what's ill about you, is that you're bringing that perspective. You know what I mean? Like what were we talking about before about, a career being a creative thing and strategy being a piece of hip hop. Like for you to identify the like industry significance of the battle rap industry significance of like it was anticipated. That's something that goes beyond the like lyrics and the battle itself, and is more about the like media and the context in which it's viewed, which I feel like is, again, going back to graffiti, like the medium in which the art, it's like graffiti on a wall was different from graffiti on a train, and there were people that oriented themselves around, I get up on walls, I get up on trains, I'm the king of the one line, you know what I mean? And so that's like Smack, king of the dot, YouTube, MTV, BET. These are different mediums and platforms, and I think it's just ill, for you to identify that, because that is significant, and I hadn't really thought about it that way until you brought it up, but it's true.
A lot of people have used that same material, that same, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The same, the math flips, the schemes or whatever. Like if you pay attention to and I hate to keep going back to Chilla, but I feel like Chilla watched that round and built his first round on it. You know what I mean? Like it's really similar if you really like watch it. Like it's the same classes, like the geometry and this, that, and the third, and chemistry and all that shit. Like it's the same shit. So I say it was a very strong round, because to this day people are repeating the same material to me.
In the room that night, like I felt like he got me, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that not everybody agreed with me. And I think that, it was super impactful, because I was like definitely a representative of backpack shit, even though I had, a lot of my battles were like against street dudes that started getting views. I still kind of came from a certain background, freestyle, just different stylistic shit.
A lot of other Smack battles was just like mixtape lyrics, and niggas was spitting into each other. It wasn't really personalized until like maybe J Mills versus Murder Mook. But then there were other battles that came after that that weren't personalized. But me and Solomon, you know, we had a week's prep, and you know, we personalized our shit. We made it work. You know what I mean?
The Smack battles were not as focused and personal and direct. They weren't as direct. Like they could be mixtape bars, and even the Mills versus Mook, like they did have personal shit, but it wasn't the way it is now, where almost every bar is like about that person, and you couldn't even use it in another battle. Math, I think, to me, Math is one of the best ever, like definitely, and I think that his career album isn't as clean, and so people don't necessarily perceive him that way. But I think when you see that battle, or even, you know, like other battles with him from Fight Club, you see that he comes in with a creativity and a perspective that people aren't really coming with. And even in Fight Club, he was already directing shit in a more personal way than a lot of other dudes at that pool table. And so he stepped up to the plate, and like, even though he took me seriously and he took the instance seriously.
People complaining about less than 2 months. People complaining about, I mean, you look at guys like Loaded Lux and Mook, I think these niggas need like half a year to write. Like, that shit is crazy to me. It's crazy, but it is what it is. You know, everybody has a different focus. But for us, it was like a week we came up with that shit. And I think what we had was a classic.
And that's why I feel like it's one of the great battles from the Smack era and from the Smack DVD era, because it stands out in that way. And you could watch the other ones and they're dope, but they're less directed. You know what I mean? Less focused on the individual. And I think that it kind of like solidified for me what I was trying to do, of like, yo, I'm gonna do these 30-second tournament over a beat battles, and then I'm coming back to New York and I'm going to Times Square and I'm taking anybody, and we're gonna do this in the street a cappella, 3 minutes, whatever. Because to me it's hip-hop, it's all the same shit. And so to end up on Smack with that trajectory and have it be against Math, to me, like, solidify what I was trying to do, of be the representative of both worlds that can like try to bring it together. You know what I mean? Because that's how I grew up. Like that's how you come up in New York City. Like, you go to school, even if you don't live around people that are different from you, you go to school with people who are different. And when you're involved in hip hop and you go to shows, like, there's people that come from every borough. Especially in the 90s, you're going to bragging rights, 88 hip hop, or, you know, New Eurekan, whatever it is. Like, people are like coming from Queens, coming from Staten Island to battle. So like you have no choice but to be diverse. And so for me, it was like, there's no way I could not want to battle on Smack just because I like to battle at Scribble Jam. It's like, didn't make sense to me to keep those things separate, you know?
In Solomon's absence, it wasn't kept alive. You know what I'm saying? I think because of, you know, his absence, and then him battling Mook on his comeback, and then staying away for so long, I felt like it kind of threw shade on the classic.
Early on, when I first started out, I interned for a label, so I got a chance to be hands-on with marketing, hands-on with promotion.
Being with somebody who does what I do, it's great. It is awesome, especially as a woman.